get
Um,
it.
so I'm going to quickly pull up some resumes, and Moss has actually had the opportunity to go over them. So he's going to quickly introduce them, give a brief background, and then we'd love to get some feedback from you on what you would recommend for these people to do.
Definitely.
So here we have a recently graduated senior who's in like the special 5-year program in the University of Rochester, studying in like biomedical engineering with a minor in music. And I think they're looking for a job in that field. So we wanted to ask you quickly to like skim the resume and see if there's anything that stands out that you would change or like emphasize upon, or like what stands out to you, or what would you look for?
Yeah, definitely. I think the first thing that kind of jumps out to me is that it does seem a little like busy. Like I think that there could be, just from like a formatting perspective, there could be more white space or more stuff added as bullet points. So again, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier about like a resume not necessarily reading as much like a job description as demonstrating what you were able to achieve in that role. So for example, something that I might change or tweak would be like for like orientation office, I would say maybe like if you're only doing it because it has multiple roles, I would maybe put those dates all lumped together on the same line as orientation officer. Also, like adding more numbers in. So numbers really help stand out in the text as well. So anytime, the way that I always kind of explain it to people is anytime you were able to like make money for the organization, save money for the organization, or any achievements. And like I say money, but that could also be like time or efficiency. So if you were able to like cut down the lead time on a certain process from being like 7 days to 3 days, then you've actualized a, I don't know, 63% reduction in that lead time for that process. So being able to include some of those numbers will really like jump out on the page to people as well if I'm taking like a quick scan of things.
That's really great. Just one question I had personally from me, looking at resumes, I've not seen too many with different color schemes and sort of different fonts. What are your thoughts on like having color and different type of fonts on resumes?
I mean, again, kind of take it or leave it. The one thing that kind of going back to what I said about like, especially if you're in a creative field, like you can use your resume as something to stand out. Like if you're a graphic designer or you do like user experience design or something like that, like you want people to see on your resume that you're skilled in that field.
Mhm.
So use that as an opportunity, but be very mindful that if you things are very like image heavy or isn't reading like traditional text, then you may have issues with those ATS systems. So I would have two versions of your resume. If you're uploading it to an ATS system, upload the one that is like the more traditional version first, and then if you are able to upload a secondary document, then you can upload that more like pretty version that is kind of showing a little bit more of that stuff. I mean, most of the resumes that I see are very traditional black and white. I think a lot of people are moving more toward being on like having a website or things like that to highlight some of that work.
This is another resume. It's coming from like I believe they're a rising junior from University of Rochester in comp sci. They're doing a bachelor's in comp sci and bachelor of arts in finance.
I think the student is particularly looking for a software engineering role next summer.
Awesome, definitely. My brother is actually a software engineer, so I'm very familiar with that type of role. I would say for some of the things that stand out here, I would let people know like what type of projects, like it tells me a little bit about them, but you can also like right underneath there, like the way that I've done it in the past, like if I've worked at a small company that maybe people don't necessarily know, or like I want to highlight that a company that I've worked for is a Fortune 500 or things like that, I'll put a little line underneath the company's name, like in italics or something that's going to kind of set it apart a little bit. It'll say what it's about, what they do. And so that might just give people a little bit more intel as to what you've been involved in. So if it is a like AI game, then again, just kind of telling people maybe like what type of platform that was on or things of that nature that you might want to put in there. Again, I see some numbers in here. The numbers piece, I think, really helps. Can't reiterate that enough. Some other things I like about this is like being able to just quickly see some of the achievements.
And I'm sure these students will really appreciate all the feedback that we've given them.
Yeah.